Oh, look at them flying together.
Oh my God, is he taking him back to Luke?
No. I think he wants to go in the front with him.
Maybe. Like,
No.
He's mad. He's like, no!
He's like, dude.
All right. This is the last time.
Oh my God.
I love it.
Oh, he wants. Really?
He wants flips?
He
wants to go zoomy.
He wants to go fast. Guys, Grogu totally got me. Thought he was going to go back to Luke, and he was like, no, you're going back to your training. But clearly, Mando and Grogu are reunited. Guys, welcome back to the Jersey Comic Crew. Chris and Rob here as always. We are breaking down what is next for the Mandalorian and now Grogu, now that they are back together. So, Rob, what do you think is next?
You said that they're not going back to Luke. They very well could be. I could definitely see them. It's like, all right, you're here. Like, you need to get training. Like, I see what you do here. You come in here. It's not the right thing. Let me try to bring you back. I can see them trying to bring him back, and Luke just says no. You can't. Ooh. He wants to spend time with you. I can see Luke trying to be holier than thou. I'm like, you know what, Luke Skywalker, you're overrated. That's what I'm gonna say when he says no to him. I don't know, man. I listen. If he says no to Grogu, how can you say no? Who can say no to Grogu?
I can tell you exactly why he would say no to Grogu.
Why is he gonna say no? Why?
Because unfortunately, Star Wars is in this mode right now where they are stuck between episodes 6 and 7, and setting up everything that happened in the sequels doesn't involve Grogu with Luke, right? Like that makes no sense. And that was the biggest caveat where people were asking me, like, why do you think Grogu's going to choose the lightsaber? Why do you think he's not going to go back with Mando? And it's like, it's not like I didn't want him to go back with Mando. I thought he was going to choose the lightsaber because they were going to start retconning episodes 7 through 9 and make it more feel like it flowed into the Star Wars universe. My personal feeling. But
I can still see that. I can still see them doing that.
I mean, I think there has to be at least a conversation with Luke, right, Rob? Like, maybe he brings him back and he's like, hey, what's going on? Like, he just showed up. I got no explanation of why he's here.
Yeah.
Is everything okay? Like, you know, or it's just like, cool, he's back. I'm out of here. I'm not even going to take him back. You know what I mean? Like, so, but I think this is going to set up where we're going to be with this lone wolf and cub style for the rest of Mandalorian, right? I don't think Grogu's going to be out of this for a long time. It's impossible to keep this character out. I just wonder how his training is going to be, if he's going to be training at all, if that's going to help in the dark saber some way. How does that work with Mando?
When he gets to Luke, maybe the conversation isn't, hey, I'm dropping off the kid again to train. I'm out of here. What if it's like, hey, we both need to be trained. I need to be one with my mind because I have this dark saber. Maybe Luke knows about the dark saber, right? Maybe they have that connection. Like Mando, quote unquote, needs to go back to Mandalore under the waterfall to get blessed again. What if these both are going towards this path of like this duality? Like I mentioned this a couple times before when we talked, like no longer just Jedi, no longer Mandalorian, like Tar Vizsla, right? Like they walk the path of both. What if he is going to do that again and that's going to be him? And Grogu's like, all right, I'm also going to train in the way of the Jedi, but not actually be called Jedi. So it could be a little montage of him learning how to be one at peace with himself, because if he does need to go back to the the planet of Mandalore, and he needs to go sit in the springs that are destroyed, what better way than have Grogu get stronger with the Force to move all the rocks so that way he could sit under there and attain, maybe not this new power, but this new state of mind. Maybe him and Luke is like more like how to work with his mind.
I can agree with that, and I think there is a part of this that Grogu does need to get stronger with the Force.
Correct.
He needs to be able to kind of protect himself a little better, as far as like not needing to be held the whole time, or falling asleep and kind of becoming this danger liability around him, even with his Beskar little chainmail thing. But I think there's a possibility of that too. Maybe it's Ahsoka. Maybe he goes to Ahsoka because he has a rapport with Ahsoka, right? He didn't even talk to Luke when he was on the planet.
True.
Luke just gave him the ultimatum. So I think there's a possibility where if he goes back, even if it's just to get clarification of what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Or to, like you said, to get some help with the Darksaber, there's also a need of like, hey kid, you got to get stronger too. Like I need you to learn some more. And that's where I think a big crux of this new season is going to be. And that is what I said 2 episodes ago. about Grogu getting over or figuring out how to deal with his past. I think that is the biggest mental block he has right now. And another reason why he chose Mando, right? Like it's something where everything in his past is terrible. We learned about it in Mandalorian season 2 when he met Ahsoka. He had, he was at the Jedi Temple when Order 66 happened. Horrible. We got that quick flashback where Luke tried to like open his mind, and we still don't know fully what happened. So I think that is going to be a main crux of this, growth for Grogu in Mandalorian season 3 as Mando has his new mission, which may or may not be Mandalore, Bo-Katan, all that other stuff.
I like that. That's the other aspect, right? We got to think about like the Bo-Katan aspect. We know that she's around. We know Ahsoka's going after Thrawn. Like there's so much more that like Mando could be a part of. Like he helped Boba. Maybe he's going to go help Bo-Katan and do all this other stuff. But like it's as much as I want him to do that, and like I enjoy him like helping out, like I need him to advance himself as a character. And I guess that's why our conversation has been so much focused on like what he's going to do with the Darksaber, with his mind, with the whole path that he's walking on. But if we take a second to think about like the Bo-Katan side of things and Thrawn side of things, right? That's still a threat that's out there that he may or may not be directly involved in. So like as much as it might be like, oh, he wants to go see Luke, Luke's not there. Maybe Ahsoka's the one that says, hey, this is how you deal with your mind so that we can use the Darksaber better and you can walk that path. I think it's really becomes a question of what do we think Mando is going to be? What do we think Din Djarin's going to be? Is he going to be this new embodiment of Tar Vizsla and walk down that path? Or is he just going to be a guy who wants to be Mandalorian again and just does what he does, help other people, and be on his merry way? Like how important of a character, I guess, is he going to be in the grand scheme of things in Star Wars?
I think he is going to be the most important Mandalorian we have. I think he's already in a lot of ways surpassed Boba Fett.
Oh yeah.
As far as how much people care about him, how much people want to see him, I think he's going to be the reluctant hero, right?
Yes, that makes sense.
Where a lot of times, especially in fables and books, whether it's ancient medieval time stuff, the hero is someone who does not want it, right? It's someone who doesn't want the sword, the power. They just want to live their normal life. They don't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
And reluctantly become this, whether it's duty or a terrible thing happens to them, or et cetera, et cetera. And I think Mando will be the final piece of restoring the planet Mandalore. He already is this old way of thinking, right? He was a foundling himself. He has this old way of thinking. He has obviously now a connection to the Jedi. I think Bo-Katan is going to be the quote unquote cursed child, which we kind of got a hint with the armor, right?
That's fair. That's fair.
Last time Bo-Katan had the saber, Mandalore was destroyed by the Empire. And now she wants it back to redeem herself and her family, but that kind of selfish choice for it,
I guess,
is that helping Mandalore or is it helping her, right? And Boba Fett is less Mandalorian than he is bounty hunter, right? He's more, no, I do my own thing. I'll help you if you need you. We're friends. We're cool. But otherwise, you're getting killed, right? So
I like the idea of the reluctant hero.
As well. Yeah, so he might be the one that becomes the one to restore Mandalore to its previous state and flourish and bring the Mandalorians back to the planet and hopefully have a good planet. And I don't think he's going to have Force sensitivity, right? I think he's going to have a connection that he's going to have to learn by Jedi who have that skill. But I think Grogu's the only one who's going to have it. And there's a theory that Grogu might end up with the Darksaber, but I don't think that's going to happen.
It's too big for him. He's too little.
It's
too big. Like, wait, is it going to shrink? Is it? Well, I mean, we also have Moff Gideon still out there, so there's still that.
Moff Gideon's still out there. Mandalore is still technically run by whatever the Empire is left.
Yeah.
And that might tie into Thrawn and Ahsoka.
Very well could be.
Thrawn, for those who don't know, is like a scholar of worlds. He is an ingenious intellect of not only war tactician, but of culture. So every world he goes to, he knows the culture better than the people do, inside and out. So if he's on Mandalore, that could bring Ahsoka into that storyline. But I think you kind of hit it on there, right? Like the Darksaber is too big. It has nothing really to do with Grogu. Grogu kind of has his own issues that he's dealing with in his mind. I mean, there are, lightsabers can adjust sizes, but I think it's going to be the burden on Mando that he does not want, at least in the beginning. And whether Sabine Wren ties into that with Ahsoka, which I think would be smart because she's also had the Darksaber before she gave it to Bo-Katan. That I think would be the smart way of kind of tying those three together. and possibly seeing if Mandalore can go back to what it was and if Mando Din Djarin is that person.
Guys, there's just so many different avenues that this show could go for Mando Season 3. We want to hear your thoughts and theories, all of that, down in the comments below. What do you think is going to be the cool, crazy thing that's going to be happening with our favorite Din Djarin and Grogu?
And guys, thanks so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up, like, really helps the channel out a lot. If you're new, subscribe and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss any more of our videos. We got Peacemaker coming up next. You do not want to miss that, I promise you. And if you missed any videos here, make sure you check them out on the channel for your leisure anytime. And as always, I'm Chris Heller. That's Rob Moran with the Jersey Comic Crew, and we'll see you next time.